We are leaving our time now. We are leaving our time now. We are leaving our time to a time where there was once a poor miller who had a beautiful daughter. And one day he happened to fall into a conversation with the king. And in order to impress him, he said, "You know, Your Majesty, I have a daughter who can spin straw into gold." The king said to the miller, "I like the sound of that. If your daughter is as clever as you say, please do bring her to the castle tomorrow and we'll see what she can do." And when the girl was brought to him, the king took her to a room that was filled with straw right up to the ceiling, and he gave her a spinning wheel and several spools and said, "There you are. Work all day and all night, and if you haven't spun all this straw into gold by tomorrow morning, you'll be put to death." And then he himself locked the door, and she was left there all alone. And the poor girl sat there with no idea what to do. Of course she couldn't spring straw into gold, and the longer she sat there, the more frightened she became, and finally she began to cry. And then suddenly the door opened and in came a little man. "Good day, Miss Miller, what are you blubbering for? I'm supposed to spin this straw into gold and I don't know how to do it, and if I don't do it, they're going to kill me." "Oh, well, what will you give me if I do it for you?" "My necklace. Let's have a look at it." He peered at the necklace and nodded and put it in his pocket, and then he sat down at the spinning wheel. He set to work so fast he could hardly see his hands, and neither could she. Whir, whir, whir went the spinning wheel, and the spool filled up, and he put another one on, and whir, 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 and that one was full too, and it went on like that until the morning. And then all the straw was spun, and all the spools were filled with gold. And the little man left without a word. At sunrise, the king came and unlocked the door. He was pleased to see all the gold, and a bit surprised too that the miller's daughter had managed to do it. But it wasn't enough for him. So he took her to another room, even larger, that was filled with straw like the first one. "Spin all this in one night or lose your life," he said, and locked the door. Once again the girl began to cry, and once again the door opened, and there was the little man. "What will you give me if I spin all this into gold for you?" The ring from my finger. Let's have a look at it." He squinted at it and then put it in his pocket, and he began to spin. The wheel went whirl, whirl, whirl again all night long, and by morning all the straw was turned into gold. The king was even more delighted, but he still hadn't got enough gold. And he took the miller's daughter to an even larger room filled with straw like the others and said, "Spin this into gold and I'll make you my wife." He was thinking, "She's only a miller's daughter, but I'll never find a richer wife in all the world." And when the girl was alone, the little man opened the door a third time. "What will you give me?" "I've got nothing left." "Then you've got to promise me that when you're queen, you'll give me your first child." Well, who can tell what'll happen in the future, she thought, and she promised the little man what he had asked for. So he set to work, and by the morning Again, all the straw had been spun into gold. When the king saw it, he kept his promise, and the miller's lovely daughter became the queen. A year later, she brought a beautiful child into the world. She'd put the little man out of her mind, but all of a sudden, there he appeared. "Now, you must give me what you promised," he said. "Oh no, please, anything but that. I'll give you all the wealth in the kingdom." She said, "What would I want that for?" He said, "when I can spin gold into straw. I want a living baby, that's what I want." The queen began to cry and weep so much that the little man felt sorry for her. "All right, I'll give you 3 days," he said. "You find out what my name is in 3 days, and you can keep your child." The queen sat up all night trying to remember every name she'd ever heard. And she sent a messenger into town to ask for any unusual names and told him to write down everything. And he came back with a list, and when the little man returned, she began to guess. "Is it Casper?" "No, that's not my name." "Is it Melchior?" "No, that's not my name." "Is it Balthazar?" "No, that's not my name." She went on and on through all the names the messenger had brought back, and each time the little man said, "Nope, that's not my name." The second day, she sent the messenger out into the country. There must be some strange names out there, she thought. And there were. When the little man came back, she tried them all out. "Is it Pickleburster?" "Nope, not my name." "Is it Hanky Dank?" "No, that's not my name." "Is it McMustard Plaster?" But he always answered, "No, that is not my name." And she was getting desperate. On the 3rd day, though, the messenger came back with a strange tale. "I haven't heard any more names of the sort I found yesterday, Your Majesty, but when I was near the top of the mountain in the thickest part of the forest, I saw a little house. There was a fire burning in front of it, and a little man, you should have seen him, he looked absurd, was dancing about in front of it, hopping on one leg and singing out, 'One more day and then she'll see the royal child belongs to me. Water, earth and air and flame. Rumpelstiltskin is my name.'" Well, you can imagine how pleased the queen was to hear that. When the little man came in, he was rubbing his hands together and hopping with glee and saying, "Now, milady, what's my name, huh? Huh? Ooh, is it Tom?" "No, that's not my name." "Is it Dick?" "No, that's not my name." "Is it, let me see, Harry?" "No, that's not my name." "Well then, I wonder if it could be Rumpelstiltskin?" "The devil told you that! The devil told you that!" the little man yelled, and in his fury he stamped his right foot so hard that he drove it into the ground right up to his waist. And then he took hold of his left foot with both hands and tore himself in two. And that is the last we know of Rumpelstiltskin.